Welcome back. Well, yes, it's Mr. Benedict Ezeagu that joins us now. He's the National Coordinator, Lawyers of Conscience. Thank you for coming on this morning. Well, we're just taking a look at the several provisions about this one, and the previous case that was given concerning this same matter, a similar one, which they're citing copiously now, but you're also in touch with this. What do you think?
Yes, I first and foremost would want to preface my remarks by stating that one, the attempt to arraign or prosecute Senator Saraki is a political one rather than a judicial prosecution.
Not based on law?
Not actually based on law when you look deep into the entire processes that were followed to railroad him into the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Two, the court that is currently trying to prosecute him lacks the credibility and the moral basis to go ahead to prosecute him, because the chairman of that tribunal has a stinking corruption allegation hanging on his neck, and he has been indicted by the institutions of the state.
Which one?
Economic and Financial Crime Commission.
I thought you said it's an allegation.
That is why I said he has a stinking allegation hanging on his neck, and he needs to clear it before he will have the moral basis to sit on judgment against anybody. Because the Office of the Attorney General had recommended that he should be prosecuted. You should not forget that.
So wherein comes the indictment?
That's what I'm saying. I said he has been investigated and found wanting by a relevant body, a relevant agency of the court, of the states, called the EFCC. Now, what they ought to do is to go and clear his name, first and foremost.
But I thought the EFCC is not the court, because even if they have something against you... I didn't say he has been convicted. I said he has an allegation. You said he's been...
I said he has an allegation hanging on his neck.
You said he was indicted.
Indicted by EFCC. And EFCC was directed by the former Attorney General to commence his prosecution. I have the documents to that effect.
Let me understand something. So, if an agency of government indicts one, does that automatically make the person guilty of the indictment?
I didn't say he has been convicted.
No.
I said that...
I heard you.
I said that because of the nature of the position he's occupying, that he needs to be credible, clean. For he who comes to equity must come with clean hands.
I heard that. And I'm asking...
Before he can sit on judgment against someone else.
Okay. Then I'm asking, if an agency of government indicts one, as you've said,
yes,
does that automatically make the person guilty of the indictment?
It does not make you guilty, neither does it make you to be innocent.
So, in this case then, because you've also heard the commission, and several people say when you fight corruption, he fights back, that's what they say. But then, what of people who will then say, look, he's investigating very, very serious cases of harmful people in this country, so you'd expect all allegations flying from everywhere. And the essence of all of this is to make sure that this case doesn't go on. So what if this happens to be one of those?
Good enough. The allegations made against him were made even before this administration came to life.
So why didn't he go to court at the time?
I am coming. Two, the recommendation of EFCC and that of the Office of the Attorney General were made even before this government came to life. And don't forget that as a result of that, other members of the tribunal had to resign en masse because they said that they will not be able to continue sitting with the man with such allegations.
That was the reason they gave?
Yeah. They wrote the president. I have the document.
So why then didn't the EFCC take the matter to court? Why is this to continue?
EFCC actually had prepared the charge against the man until the death of the past government, until the end of the past government.
So what reason did they give for not going further with the case?
Because the past government, the government had left power. And it is incumbent upon this new government to continue, because criminal allegations or criminal matters do not die.
When did they prepare the case?
It was before, close to the end of the last administration.
When precisely? Like when? November?
I can't give you the month offhand, but I have the document. But that is by the way.
Because I'm saying this here, I was trying to remember and just wanted to be sure, because I know that the House of Reps waded into this particular matter which you're referring to as the charges, hanging around the neck of the CCT chairman. And I think it was shortly after they're wading into it, they were investigating, it was understood that the Attorney General of the Federation and the EFCC cleared the CCT chairman of any wrongdoing. Did you hear that?
Which Attorney General cleared him?
From what I read here, Mr. Abubakar Malami was said to have cleared him of any wrongdoing, because I do recall...
It does not have such power.
Just a moment. I do recall that the House of Representatives was now saying they were going to investigate further to be sure that there was no shoddy dealings in terms of how he was cleared. Did you hear of that story at all? Before
God and Man, I am not sure I heard that he was cleared by the office of the Attorney General, the current Attorney General. Okay. What I am sure of is that the former Attorney General directed EFCC to proceed with his prosecution.
Are you also...
And I have the document.
Okay, so you're sure of that one, but are you sure, are you following the case in front of the members of the House of Representatives?
Yes, the committee is still investigating the matter. They have not come out with their report. And another thing that happened is that we wrote the office of the Attorney General, the current Attorney General of the Federation, to continue with the matter from where his predecessor stopped.
When did you write this letter?
That was in January.
In January this year?
This year, yeah.
So that happened shortly after the case against the Senate President started?
Yes.
Do you have any interest whatsoever in the case of
I do not. The only interest I have is that a judge or anyone that will sit on judgment against any other person must have his hands clean. You can't give what you don't have. If you are dirty, you can't make someone else clean.
But there are provisions of the law to ensure that that happens, isn't there?
Is that what?
There are provisions of the law to ensure that that happens.
Yes, and when the provisions of the laws are being circumvented by interested parties, it is incumbent on us to raise alarm.
Now you lost me there. Could you break it down? Who is circumventing what exactly?
I can tell you exactly that the office of the current Attorney General of the Federation is deliberately trying to kill the case against the chairman of the CCT. I can say it boldly. We wrote him. He didn't take any step. He didn't reply us. Of course, we know what we have planned to do. But because they have procured him from his first retirement or resignation to do a hatchet-man job in this matter, which is not in the interest of our judiciary or criminal justice system. It does not matter who will be prosecuted or who will be convicted. If you committed an offense or you are involved in corrupt practices, you need to face the law. And if you are found guilty, you should go in for it. But you must follow due process of the law. Otherwise, it will give room for the innocent people to suffer.
You use very weighty words. But then if that were the case, why is it that counsel who have got these matters, if you say it's in the public domain, why haven't they gone to court with it saying this negates the principle of natural justice?
Thank you. I told you we are taking steps.
Are you part of the council for...
You mean Saraki's council?
Yeah.
It is not their responsibility. It is the responsibility of any interested Nigerian, anyone who is interested in ensuring that justice is done, anyone who is committed to fighting corruption.
Why would you say...
And I can also tell you that some lawyers had already gone to court. I know of a matter, of a suit filed by Chief Michael Zikomesian on that matter, and we will also go to court on it to ensure that justice is done.
That's on the one hand. Now let's get to this.
Then the cases
and the provisions of the Code of Conduct Tribunal.
Now, assuming without conceding that this court, the Code of Conduct Tribunal, has the moral basis and the competence and the credibility to sit on this matter. The case of Saraki is a still bet. It's dead on arrival.
Based on what?
Based on these reasons. One, there are condition precedent to arraigning an accused before the Code of Conduct Tribunal. These condition precedents includes, one, when there is a complaint of non-compliance with the provision of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act, with regard to declaration of assets of whoever is involved, a complaint ought to be made or a petition ought to be written to the Code of Conduct Bureau. When that is done, it is the responsibility of Code of Conduct Bureau to invite the person against whom a petition was written to come and clear his name or to own up to the allegation made against him. Secondly, it is the responsibility of Code of Conduct Bureau to obtain the statement of the person against whom a petition has been written. And then it is at the discretion of the Code of Conduct Bureau to recommend or refer the matter to the Code of Conduct Tribunal.
Discretion.
Yeah. To try or to prosecute the person.